There are millions of games on multiple platforms, all of them competing for the player's attention. Knowing that this game would have to compete with those millions, I knew I had to add a lot of value for any purchase made by the player. So, keeping that in mind, this week I plan to implement in app purchases in the game, also known as IAP. One common thing that all mobile games do is add a remove ads feature. This purchase simply removes all ads in the game. But when I personally play a game, I don't feel the need to remove ads. I think because my play sessions are short and I never reach the point where an ad is shown. So if a player doesn't feel like removing an ad, I would need another way to incentivize players to make a purchase. I remember DevDuck's video about in-app purchases. In that video, he adds a special skin that's exclusive to players that make a purchase. This game doesn't have a character that can have skins, but it does have themes. I thought about adding an exclusive theme for players that make a purchase. For doing this, I added a theme menu. The theme menu lets the player look at all the themes and how they will be able to unlock them. It also shows the current theme being used. The way I handle the currently selected theme is that I move an image's position that acts as the outline. This was a simple thing to do, but it took me way longer than it should have, because objects that displayed the theme were children of another object, and the relation with the outline image was different. Getting the scale right was a little tricky. Next thing I did was remove all the ads for any players that made a purchase. So the players who have paid will always get an extra undo move and 2 extra moves at the end of the level without watching the rewarded ads. The final thing that I did was lower the star requirement for unlocking a new set of levels. So instead of 45 stars to unlock the next set, a player who had made a purchase will only need 30 stars. I did the same thing with unlocking new themes. I reduced the number of stars required to unlock a new theme. I think all of this combined provides great value for the player, and hopefully it nudges the player to make a purchase and support this game. Adding IAP was very easy. Like all things, Unity has made this extremely easy. They have a component for it. You just add the component and fill in the details about the purchase. Connect it with the store and it is done. I couldn't do this part because I haven't made the developer accounts for the stores yet. I also need to add a restore purchase button, but it is the same process, so I'm not too worried. One thing that I was kind of frustrated about is that I knew I was going to add IAPs to the game, but none of the code that I wrote before accounted for it. When I integrated ads into the game, I should have thought ahead and added a bypass for IAPs. Even for the themes, when I added it last week, I was already thinking about special themes for players, but my code didn't account for it. This is always the dilemma, right? Do you add functionality that is feature proof and take more time right now, or just add things later on? For this, I think I should have thought about the future and what I want to do, and at least added some functionality for later. After being mildly infuriated, I called it a night. Next week, I'm going to make mobile builds for this game.